Now at 6:30 on WKYT this morning, Lexington police are struggling to find leads in an overnight shooting that has injured a teenager.
Several masked men are on the run after a violent home invasion in which a woman was shot in the head.
And many legal experts predict the U.S. Supreme Court will overturn Kentucky's ban on same-sex marriage.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you and welcome in. It's Monday, April 27th. The last few days of April, we head toward the Derby. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Usually it's the three of us that sometimes dress the same.
Yeah.
Today it's myself and Hillary. You'll see her in a couple of minutes, and also another producer, Danielle.
Well, that's all right. Well, you all look yellow and spring-like.
That's what we were going for, the bee look, right?
Derby theme, right?
That is a nice spring look, and hopefully we'll have some nice spring weather this week, Michael. We really need it.
We do need it, and look, the next couple of days look fantastic. I mean, you'll have a lot of sunshine, and but it's just going to be on the cool side for much of your day. It's 60s by the afternoon. You're getting twilight right now. It's a beautiful start to the day. Look at Mountain Parkway. Only one car. You can have the roadway, buddy. It's all yours. 37 there in Frankfort, Richmond, Lexington, Danville. Doesn't matter where you look. It is on the chilly side. Grab that coat before you take off and as you slide your kids out the door. Bill and Rebecca keep getting on to me for saying pushing your kids out the door. But I remember my mom was like, go, dude, you got to get out of here. You got to go to school. 63 degrees by the afternoon. It's a beautiful day in store. Now, next couple of days, like I say, look good. Midweek rain chances, but Derby, Oaks Day, Derby, looks great. I'll show you that coming up in about 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. And let's get to the news. We're tracking a crime alert in Lexington. A teenager was shot this morning, and police are still searching for the shooter.
Well, this happened overnight off Eastland Parkway, and WKYT's Mark Barber is there live at the scene with details from police.
Good morning, Rebecca and Bill. Investigators say that they found the 16 to 17-year-old boy here at the entrance to Spencerian College on Eastland Parkway. They think that the teenager was dragged here after he was shot across the street. Now, we've learned from investigators that they think that this teenager was shot in the tree line behind the Continental Square Apartments around 11:30 last night. After the teen was shot in the rear, officers say he was dragged a block to Eastland Parkway. The boy is now at UK Hospital, where he is expected to recover. Police say the two men who shot the boy have not been arrested. Investigators tell us a detective has been called in to talk to the teenager. They're told they're working to get a description of the shooters, and they're still working to figure out why the boy was shot. However, it could be very difficult for investigators to answer those questions because they say the teenager is not fully cooperating. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, thank you, Mark. New on WKYT this morning, we just learned that Lexington police are investigating an early morning home invasion. This happened at about 4:30 this morning on Hedgewood Drive off Woodhill Drive. Police say a man wearing a mask broke into the home and held the victims up at gunpoint, stole several electronics. The victims are shaken up, but they are not hurt.
Obviously working to get more info about that right now.
But it's good to hear they were not hurt. Also new this morning, state police investigating a violent home invasion. This one happened just north of Scott County in nearby Dry Ridge.
And that's where one of the victims says her aunt was shot in the head. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is at our live desk with the latest on this crime alert and some intriguing details. Good morning.
Good morning. A woman living where that wild home invasion took place on Michigan Avenue says just after 9 o'clock last night, a group of friends were playing poker when 5 masked men broke in through a window on the bottom level of their duplex. She says 2 of the intruders robbed the group of 4 people playing cards and held them at gunpoint, while the other masked men made their way upstairs to her bedroom, where she then got into a struggle with 2 of those intruders and was pepper sprayed by one of them. She says that is when her aunt came out of a nearby bedroom and shots were fired, hitting her aunt in the head. She was flown to University of Cincinnati Hospital. The severity of her injuries are not known at this time. The victims say some cash was taken from that poker table. Kentucky State Police are still working to determine if anything else was taken from that home. Police have not made any arrests. At the live desk, Hillary Thornton, back to you.
All right, Hillary, frightening situation there. Thank you. Lexington police are looking for the person who shot a man during a weekend robbery. The victim was walking out of the Circle K gas station on Buckhorn Drive yesterday when police say a man with a rifle tried to rob him. The victim refused to hand over his wallet and was shot. He is expected to be okay. A death investigation is underway in Mercer County after 2 bodies were found inside a burning building Saturday night. State police say firefighters were were called out after neighbors spotted smoke coming from what used to be Chubby's Auto Sales. Troopers say once inside, firefighters found two bodies, a woman in her 40s and a man in his 50s. Officials say at least one meth lab was also found inside, but they are not sure exactly what started the fire.
Well, we are tracking a crime alert after two people were carjacked at gunpoint. The first crime happened Saturday night on Caudell Drive. Police say three gunmen stole a man's wallet and car. Several hours later and just a few blocks away, police say two victims were threatened by a gunman who also stole their wallets and car. Police will not say right now if these two crimes are connected. We're tracking the investigation into a fiery crash in Lexington. Police say a woman was driving down Lakeshore Drive yesterday morning when she hit two parked cars. All three burst into flames. One of our viewers sent in some eyewitness video of the crash. We also received an eyewitness photo from a viewer who was near the scene. Police say the driver was not hurt.
It is now 6:35 here on WKYT this morning, and the U.S. Supreme Court is set to consider one of the biggest civil rights issues facing the country. Tomorrow, the justices will be hearing a case that could decide the future of same-sex marriage in several states, including Kentucky. Our Washington bureau chief, Jacqueline Policastro, reports most legal experts are predicting that state bans will be overturned.
The Supreme Court will hear arguments involving same-sex marriage bans from 4 states: Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Michigan. Supporters and protesters from across the country are traveling to Washington ahead of the hearing.
Passions are running high as the Supreme Court takes up the issue of marriage equality. The final decision will be named after the Ohio lawsuit, the first to reach the justices, Obergefell versus Hodges. Jim Obergefell wants his legal Maryland marriage to be recognized on his husband's Ohio death certificate.
It's my way to live up to the promises I made to him over time. And, you know, when we said I do, there are promises that are built into that.
In Kentucky, Greg Burke and Michael De Leon are asking for their legal Canadian marriage recognized and for both men to be the legal parents of their 2 adopted children.
You know, it's the Supreme Court, so they can do what they want.
Last year, in a tear-filled announcement, Kentucky's Attorney General said he wouldn't defend the state's ban on gay marriage. Kentucky hired outside counsel to argue before the Supreme Court.
So I had to make a decision I could be proud of. For me now, and for my daughter's judgment in the future.
In Tennessee, Valeria Tanko and Sophie Jesty have a child together and want recognition of their legal New York wedding.
One of the main reasons, other than the legal recognition of our own family, was to help those people that don't have the ability to represent themselves.
And in Michigan, April DeBoer and Jane Rouse are fighting against Michigan's ban on adoptions by same-sex couples. They want to jointly adopt the 3 children they're raising together.
This case is about the protection of our children. It is not about the individuals. It's not about her and my relationship. This is about ensuring that our children will remain together no matter what happens to her and I.
The Supreme Court will first consider whether states have the obligation to perform same-sex marriages. Then the court will hear arguments as to whether states are obligated to recognize same-sex marriages performed in other states.
A decision can be handed down at any time after the hearing, but is expected at the end of the court's term in June or early July. Reporting at the Supreme Court, I'm Jacqueline Policastro.
And several Kentucky couples are in Washington, D.C. this week to see what happens.
It will be exciting to see what happens. Well, a super PAC unveiled a new TV ad attacking Kentucky Republican gubernatorial candidate James Comer for voting to increase legislators' pensions in 2005. It's the latest ad from Citizens for a Sound Government, the political action committee that supports Hal Heiner for governor. The super PAC has set the agenda for the crowded May 19th Republican primary with its expensive attack ads. Well, a dog that went missing 2 years ago in Lexington has been reunited with her family hundreds of miles away.
Yeah, somebody found Tilly, a 7-year-old beagle mix, a little more than a week ago, just wandering the streets of Lexington. She had disappeared in 2013, right before her family moved to Utah. A microchip helped identify her. A member of Lost and Found Pets of Lexington, the Facebook group, volunteered to drive Tilly all the way out to her family in Utah.
It is a long drive.
Was it worth it?
It was absolutely worth it.
Hi,
sweetheart. I know.
Well, donors paid for Tilly's trip home, and we are so glad that she made it home. What a sweet little dog.
Oh, and what a reunion. Can you imagine?
Great story.
It really is. Time this morning is 6:39.
Well, hopefully it's a good story out on the roads this morning. We're not hearing of any necessarily bad issues out there. Let's check in, though, now with Officer Don.
Live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. No wrecks in the way right now. 75 north and southbound looks good. We're also in pretty good shape on the interstate. Let's get a look outside and we'll show you what to expect as you plan to head out the door this morning for work or school with a live look at Broadway and High Street where traffic is steady toward downtown. Now on our Waze map, we're not seeing anything significant pop up. We're looking good right now on all the streets headed toward downtown. Main, Vine Street, even High Street's in good shape near Rupp. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, very good. And you can listen in to Officer Don and Deanne on 98.1 The Bull when you get in your car this morning. It's right now coming up on 6:40, 20 before 7.
Well, this is a chance here for the president to roll up his sleeves and provide a few good laughs. We'll take a look at the commander-in-chief's funniest moments from the annual Correspondents' Dinner in Washington.
We're looking outside, 30s and a couple of 40s sprinkled in here and there. It is a chilly start to the day. Cool and calm the next couple of days, but what about midweek, the rain chance? And what about Oaks and Derby Day? That's what you want to know about, and I'll show you that in your 7-day coming up next.